Good morning, everyone. This is Jomar Hilario. Did you do your selfie? I hope you have, because that helps you declare to the world that you are a willing, eternal student. Sabi nga ng mga experts and even Brother Bo Sanchez, we must all be devoted students eternally, always trying to learn new things, always trying to unlearn old things, and really, really find ways to increase yung alam natin, increase yung experiences natin. Okay? So if you can hear me, type the word, yes, may kuryente kami. Yan. Yan ang susulat nyo. Yes, may kuryente kami. As expected, there's not a lot more people now because of the power problem. But this will be recorded, so those who are actually watching the recording, hello. Hello there. And the title for today's webinar is the 3 must-haves that you need to have in your thank you message in getting clients in LinkedIn. Well, some of you don't even know what that is, a thank you message to LinkedIn. But tonight we are featuring Jay McLean again in the last of the series of LinkedIn secrets or LinkedIn hacks. And before we get Jay on the line, I'd like to just give you some, papaningin natin siya mamaya, give you my vision for you tonight. My vision for you tonight is that you will be rewarded because of your patience. You will be rewarded because of your perseverance. More than skills, the value you have as a person increases because of your perseverance and your patience. Sa totoo lang. So you're patient in learning from us, you're patient in waiting for the webinars to start, you have perseverance in, you're not getting any money yet, but you're still following. You're still following because you know it's a process. Success is a process. So my vision for you is by next year, you have a business. Your business is doing 10 times more, is earning 10 times more. My vision for you, if you're earning as a virtual assistant, you are earning 10 times more by July 2015. And if you agree with the vision, can you type the word I agree? Yan. Okay, so let me just, bago yan, sige, let me just talk to you about the 3 Ds that Jay McLean has. Jay had a desire to earn from the internet. Okay, so let's put Jay on the line. Jay, are you there?
Oh, hello everyone.
Hello. Just to confirm to us, you were not doing internet marketing in Australia, but you wanted to learn about online marketing. Yep.
Yes. Yeah, I was in real estate more.
Okay. So you had a deadline. Can you just tell us your deadline? I told everyone your deadline, but it's better if it came from you.
Yeah, well, it was to earn a certain amount of money within a year's time, and really that was really the thing. Like I set myself 1 year from when I started, and then basically just made sure that I have this desire. I'm committed to what I want to do. I want to leverage of people potentially that's in the industry, and accelerate my learning from them, and then apply the learnings, and then find something that would suit me or that would fit me, and then basically just commit to that action. And then so the deadline, yes, you definitely need to have a deadline, because otherwise the commitment may not be as you could say as desirable or as hungry, because if you say that if you don't have a deadline, it's just it's not, you're not as passionate about it, or you're just not as committed. So I definitely had a deadline. I had a desire, and I had the reason why behind that desire as well. Right. So for me, I'll just share it quickly. For me, my why really was that, I was in real estate, but I was actively in the business, and so I was very hands-on. And I realized that moving forward, that I couldn't sustain that, and my sole purpose was really to enjoy time with Emmeline at that time, and then enjoy the holidays that we wanted to go to. So the real estate business really wouldn't give us that lifestyle, you could say, and hence the internet world became a thing. Everyone was talking about it, so I looked into it and I saw there was opportunities there, and then just committed to it. Yeah.
That's good. So commitment starts with C, so I can't use that. So thank you.
Dedicated.
Thank you very much.
I was dedicated.
Dedicated. Yeah. Everybody here is dedicated. If you're dedicated, type the word I'm dedicated, because I'm going to discuss to you very briefly the third D that I saw that Jay had. So Jay doesn't know anything about this yet. So you guys are all equal footing here right now. So it's called the division of desires. And this is going to be very short because I'm going to devote an entire webinar on this so that you can do it yourself. So here's how you do it. So can I ask you, Jay, how many years was the real estate thing for you? How many years?
Since I started in 2000 investing in real estate. I think, when did we meet? Around 2010? Was that 2010, 2009?
2010. 2010.
Yeah, so it was 2000 I started. I mean, I just finished off my university, my honors in university, and then basically I started working in IT because that was my background. And then within that year, I started already investing in real estate. So it was 2000.
So you spent like 2009 years, about 10 years doing real estate, right?
Yeah.
So, but before that, you had a book. So that was the last year of that 10 years. You created a book.
Yeah.
You wanted to become an author.
Yeah, it was 2009.
Okay, so from 2000 to 2008, let's assume it's 2008. That's real estate, right?
And then
So if
real estate and other businesses like the computer shops.
Right. Yeah. This is traditional business stuff.
Yeah.
And then you started becoming an author by 2008. Am I right?
Yeah, we started creating the book in 2008.
Okay, so notice, guys, there is a division. Traditional business, then you can consider that a beginning of a new business. That's becoming an author. That's 2008 until today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, until today. And did you publish anything last year?
We didn't put it into the bookstores, but we had a lot of books last year. I'm just they're going to be released. I'm just holding back for a big launch.
So you're still in the author stage right now, right? Author.
Yeah.
So this is just a teaser of what I'm going to show to you in the future webinar. Not today, not next week. I'm going to announce when it's going to be. But notice how Jay has consciously or unconsciously divided his desires. First one is traditional business, and now it's authorship. But he's overlapping into online. Hi, Earl. The baby's here. He's overlapping into the online business, and that's a secret D. Okay, that's a secret D. I'm not gonna discuss anything further than that. I just want you to pay attention that the reason why Jay is able to focus. Can you guys type focus, because that's what most people don't have. Jay's able to focus is because after doing the traditional business, he was able to focus on becoming an author. And part of being an author would be an online marketer. He didn't focus on becoming an online marketer. He started by focusing on becoming an author first. But there was a distinct division between his real estate stuff. Because I know that your first book is not real estate, right?
Yes.
So it's millionaires and billionaires. So it was really focused on becoming a author. Okay, I'm done. That's all I wanted to discuss about the 3 Ds. I know it will help you if you had the division of desires too, but I will tell you more about it next time when we actually have time to discuss that with you guys. So I hope you guys look forward to the 3 Ds, specifically the division of desires. Okay? So we are now going to go into, the division of desires will be discussed next Monday. So not this Monday, not next Monday, next Monday. So you better make sure you guys are present next Monday. There's enough time for the government to restore your electricity, I think. It's 3 weeks from now, alright? So that's all about the division of desires. Now let's go to the topic at hand. Tonight is all about the thank you message in Facebook. So I'm gonna give it away to Jay. And before you start, Jay, I just wanted to remind everyone, need to be at the end of the webinar because Jay is going to reveal to you, just a moment, the baby. The Jay is going to reveal to you why he wrote that first message to me in 2009. What was the basis of that winning message in 2009 that allowed him and me to be in contact. So please do wait until the end of the webinar to find out about it, and you'll see the rest of the email too. Okay? Go take it away, Jay.
Okay, so I'll start sharing my screen. Can everyone see my screen? I just want to make sure.
Saw it. See it.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so good morning, everyone. And I'm excited by this Desires. I think I've got an idea what it is, but it'd be interesting to listen in, so I may have to listen into the webinar as well. So yes, good morning, everyone. This is the last sort of session for the LinkedIn, but it's not really the last, it's really the beginning. And I want to thank, again, Jomar and the team on allowing me to basically share, again, a lot of knowledge about LinkedIn, and hopefully a lot of you guys will be able to use this as a way to get more leads, get more customers, and create a better life for yourselves. And that's really my purpose. So for this morning, yeah, I could see people saying buffering, but that's fine. For this morning, we're going to talk about the 3 must-haves to your LinkedIn thank you message. And this is also very important. The reason why I changed for attracting endless new targeted customers, I'll just go through the sharings that we've had for the last 2 weeks prior. I was going to talk about something else, but from the messages I was getting in LinkedIn from a lot of you guys, that I decided to just talk about the thank you message rather than the posts, which I mentioned last week. So we'll talk about thank you message because it will help you. It will really help the sent invitation that you've been taught last week, and then it will sort of just strengthen what you're doing there. So we'll talk about the thank you message, and I'm very excited by this because I've got a lot of things to share again. And but before I do that, I just want to, in case there is newbies here that hasn't heard me before or doesn't know who I am, I always sort of have a quick story about myself. At least that introduces me, and then that we're all friends after this. But just quickly, yes, born in the Philippines, and then I basically from the Philippines, very quickly we lived in Melbourne, Australia. What I mean by we is just my little brother Ray and myself, and mum remarried to an Australian, and basically our life has been in Melbourne, Australia. That's why you can, when you're listening to this, you're really listening to my Australian accent, even if I look really Filipino. So Melbourne, Australia, that's really where I learned my entrepreneurial journeys. My mentors were there, of course, all over the world as well, but my key mentors were there, Darren, which I'll talk about shortly, and I learned a lot about business, about being an entrepreneur, about personal development mindset. And I'm grateful for the opportunities that I had, and now it's my way of sort of coming back to Philippines and sort of giving back what I call the skill sets, or another term for that is these gifts that I've acquired over time, and then sort of sharing that to guys like you, people that are looking and always searching for something better in the life. So that's really my purpose. So today, I am a business growth strategist and best-selling author, and of course an entrepreneur. So my background, just quickly, has been 15 years personal business experience. So there, like I said with Jomar, that I started real estate in 2000, but even just before that, I was already sort of doing some small businesses. And then moving forward, when I had the financials, I gathered more businesses along the way. And then from that, the experience of consulting, because I learned to market my own businesses, learned to systemize my businesses, and hence I started doing some business consulting. And basically that led to all the things that I do today. But the other cool thing that I'm very proud of is that I have 1.5 years were, well, it's a little bit more than that now. 1.5 years fatherhood experience. I cannot. I always have to mention that because I'm so proud of it. Well, we're proud of it, Emmeline, my wife, and myself. And fatherhood experience to an awesome girl, Angeline. This is when we were in Sydney. She was a little bit younger here, but yeah. So I'm very proud of that, and it was a great achievement. So this is a thing. This is the thing that sort of changed my journey. And if you're talking about the divisions, this is one of them. This is the book that I was sort of I learned a lot about business, about being an entrepreneur, and I thank God, but I think being able to connect with people like Darren Stevens, who was a key influence in terms of my entrepreneurial journey at a very early age, and Spike, who's an American entrepreneur and consultant to a lot of big companies. And basically, that was the book. Okay, from there, it led to the other books that we created here in the Philippines, which we'll be launching in this year and the years to come. There is a lot of books. I think we are up to 14 books now, and more than half of that is already completed and ready for going to the bookstores. So that's the things in terms of my authorship. But my true business and my true income is really the business education company that we've set up and the publishing arm, which is Life Master Success Secrets. A lot of that stuff is like things like the LinkedIn training and the Facebook stuff that we do. And then, that has grown over the years, and that's like the last 5 years extensively to reach over 500,000 fans. And even here in the Philippines, there's about 50,000 that we have a good customer base now. So that's been pretty cool. That's been, you could say, my bread and butter in business, and have been very fortunate that I was able to do a lot of things around Life Master Success Secrets. So let's talk about LinkedIn, and let's talk about some key questions first before sharing the last components of the thank you message. So why LinkedIn? Now I've shared this in every webinar, and I'm going to share it again just to make sure your subconscious level understands a few things about why you want to go into LinkedIn, and then I will validate it with some statistical evidence, not mine, but from some major companies out there. So the first question is, how many of you use LinkedIn or have created a LinkedIn account? So you can type that in to say yes or no, but I'm just going to keep going, but you just sort of answer that in your head and for yourself. The next question is, how many of you use LinkedIn to build your personal and or business brand, right? So depending on what you do today, just make sure that whatever you're doing out there, especially on LinkedIn, that you're setting yourself a personal and or business brand around what you do. Okay, so how many of you use LinkedIn to grow your database of customers? So I just wanted to give you these questions just to start making you think about the power of LinkedIn and how you can utilize it for you, for your brand, and for your business moving forward, and also for your customers, your potential customers. Okay, so that's that. And then what I wanted to share with you quickly is the did you knows. These are statistical evidence why LinkedIn is pretty cool, well, pretty awesome, in fact. And I just wanted to share you more evidence. I've always shared that in the previous webinars, and now I'm going to show you another one. This is a company. It's an internet marketing software company called HubSpot, and they came across they set up a survey of over 5,000 business owners, right? So that's 5,000 business owners. You guys can research about HubSpot. They're a very credible source of information, especially in the internet marketing world. And I suggest you guys watch what they do or read some content that they have, because it's very informative, and it's I use it all the time. So HubSpot. So what they did is 5,000 business owners they surveyed, all connected with LinkedIn. So did you know that out of those 5,000, and they surveyed about social media in general, that Twitter generated a 0.69% visitor to lead conversion rate. I'm not going to go into the full fundamentals of the survey, but let's just look at these stats just as a general view. So Twitter generated 0.69% visitor to lead conversion rate. So basically what that means is that people coming into Twitter, and if you're tweeting something, and then potentially, they're visitors that can be converted into leads. So it's 0.69% out of those 5,000. Now, from those 5,000, they also found out that Facebook generated a little bit more, which was about 0.77% visitor to lead conversion rate. So it's okay, but it can be better. So that's Twitter and Facebook. So they're pretty cool. But let's look at LinkedIn. LinkedIn generated the highest visitor to lead conversion rate, right, which was 2.7%, 74%. So that's basically LinkedIn was 277% more, pretty much like, nearly 3 times more effective for lead generation than Facebook or Twitter. Now, I value Facebook. I love Facebook. I mean, we can do another webinar series about, Facebook ads and all the cool things that happens. But on this evidence, LinkedIn had a better rate based on their statistics. And again, I won't have time to go into the fundamentals and how they set it up. But that was it, 277% greater using LinkedIn. So this was just, the little graphical chart that HubSpot showed. So as you can see there, 0.69 for Twitter, 0.77% for Facebook, and 2.74%, which is now getting pretty good, from lead to, well, basically visitor to lead conversion. Okay, so that's another evidence, again, that I want to share about, the power of this social media platform called LinkedIn. Now, the other one, did you know, this is another cool one that I read a few years back, that LinkedIn holds the record for the highest average household income over all other social networking sites, so social networking platforms, sites at over 109,000 US dollars per member. So that's the value or the average household income of the users in LinkedIn, okay, based on these stats. So that means the networks in LinkedIn have a very high net worth, and that fitted my business perfectly, okay, because I'm looking for high net worth, and I know Jomar in the last email was revealing some of the income, and that's just where I am right now. I mean, before I started at a lower income rate, and then over the years gradually increase, and I know I can deliver on my high income. I mean, my high rate. So this is the cool thing. LinkedIn provided that, and that's why I got into it. And if you guys are looking to potentially increase your income on what you do, or increase your customer acquisition, so if you're selling a service or a product and you want to get some high-end customers, well, LinkedIn's the platform, guys. It really is. So you just got to make sure you build your profile and you get it going. Okay, so cool. So was that pretty cool, everyone? Was that pretty cool stats? Interesting, huh? I got heaps more.
Yeah, I got confirmation. What is that? What is that? To explain something?
Yeah,
For
go.
some of you who are first timers in the world of business, a conversion means a person moves from non-buyer to a buyer. So if you are here to get an online job in LinkedIn, a conversion means you contact a person and he hires you. That's what it means. So if it's a high conversion rate, it means that you talk to lesser people, you get hired, versus a Twitter or Facebook. If you're selling something, you talk to lesser people and they buy from you. That's it.
And even at a higher rate too, you can demand higher prices as well.
Yeah, because of the income level.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you, Jomar. So, okay, so let me continue. Now let's talk about some of the homework or the action steps that people have done before I continue into the final sort of thank you message details. So cool. Okay. So has everyone, slowly building their summary? It's important that you do that. I want to thank you for the people that messaged me, and I know that there's quite a few of you that are, slowly building your summary. Uh, Congratulations, firstly. And basically, it's important that you do that, because if you're starting to take action on last week's webinar and this week's webinar, and you haven't completed your summary, then you're losing potential customers, but you're also, you're ruining your profile and your brand about yourself. If they come to you and you're requesting for an invitation, and then they come to they look at your profile, because they will, and then there's nothing in the summary, then what does that mean? How does that represent you? I hope you guys understand the importance of this. So you make sure that you're doing your summary, and like I said, it doesn't have to be the perfect summary. It just, over time, it will evolve and it will get better and better. The more the more you look at it, the more you update it, and that's exactly what happened to me. Like, my first summary was pretty hopeless, but then it just got better and better. It just got improved, and then I got hints from other people, other key players in LinkedIn world, other internet marketers were telling me, hey Jay, this may be better, and then you add it, and then you test and measure. So, but for you to get to the better level, you need to get started, and you need to start entering your summary. Okay, so make sure you're doing that. So, and in the first webinar, I talked about setting up your summary and some key things, which is asking the question to your potential target market, share a bit of pain points, then paint the picture with relieving that pain, and then getting them to gain pleasure with a potential solution, which is maybe the service that you've got to offer. And then you validate that by earning the right, which is what's your experience, or what results have you created in a personal level for your business or for other businesses that you've done. So these are the key things that you need to set up in your summary. And like I said, I suggest that before you do anything from last week's webinar or this week's webinar, you got to get this summary completed. Okay, so if you've done that, awesome. And then the next thing is that your full profile completed. And like I said, this is an evolution. This is a growing process of your entire LinkedIn profile, right? So initially it's your summary, and then the key requirements, which I just shared before, and then anything that you can add more value to your profile to strengthen you and who you are. And sometimes you may think that that's not important, but for other people that could be very important. So that could be images. If you're in, I don't know, if you do graphics design, or if you've done some work before, stick images in there, something that will strengthen your services, or the thing that you want to promote from a service point of view or from a product point of view. Okay, any videos, video marketing or videos is very, very powerful, as we all know. So anything like that. All these samples, you can go to my profile, and then you'll see videos, you'll see images, you'll see downloadable ebooks. So that's PDF books, anything that you can create and give away as well. Have that set up in the profile, and it's very simple to upload it in there. Very, very simple. And then the other thing too is your initial update of your skills and your endorsements. I will really talk about that later on tonight. And your experiences, which is important as well. So experience that you're doing currently, and some key experiences that you've done in the past, relative or related to your positioning that you want to set up today. So if you want to talk about that you're a social media, if you have social media services, then just talk about stuff like that, right? And any in terms of experience, that could be education too. Any courses that you've done with Jomar. I saw some of the profiles, some of the profiles that were completed, and I looked at them, and there was stuff like some of the things that you've done with Jomar. That's sort of an experience which I think is valuable as well, right? Anything like that in the marketplace, anything you've done online, and even your education as well, if you've been in IT or anything like that, do things like that. And the other thing too that you can strengthen in your experience, and I know that I'm going a little bit more tonight about this because I know it's really, really important, is things that you can do from a work experience. We call it work experience. I don't know what you call it, work placement or whatever it is, where you literally do it for free. You go to a company and then you help them out doing social media or something like that, right? So that's an experience, and people won't know that you didn't get paid for it, but it's if you can position yourself with a well-known organization, do some work for them. That could be 1 month, 3 months, whatever it is. Then that will strengthen your profile. So all these things you set up, and feel free that if you've done your profile, message me on LinkedIn, and I'm more than happy to just quickly go through it and then suggest anything or give you some advice. That's cool with me. Okay, so set up your profile. So your summary is really key, and then your full profile with as much evidence related to what you're trying to position yourself as, to either promote products or services, just relative to that. If you're going to talk about being a VA about social media, I suggest it's not good about if your experience about, I don't know, horse riding, and then you talk about that, because it's not really relative. Okay, that could be like your interest or something like that, but not in your experience. So you guys know what I mean. Anyway, so, and here's a congratulations. So I've seen some of quite a few profiles on LinkedIn already, and I just want to congratulate you guys that's made the effort to set it up. And I know that there's potential more improvements, but that's cool. At least you've taken the step to really take an effort on the teachings or on the sharings that I've given you, and also with Jomar, and then basically take it to action, and now it's there. So congratulations for the people that have done that, and I'm looking forward for the people that are going to be doing their profiles. So like I said, feel free to message me your details, or connect with me, and then I can check it out. Okay, so why is this important? Okay, why I need to give you a reason why, so then you can validate that in your subconscious, and that you will actually take action and commit to this. Okay, or let's talk about the D's, and dedicate yourself to this. Okay, so why? Well, I shared about the LinkedIn blueprint, right? So the LinkedIn blueprint was this, and initially it's your summary that's important, or your and your profile. Then you've learned how to do the send invitation, and now I was going to share with you status updates, but I thought I would decide based on feedback that I will share the thank you message, because then it will basically fulfill the first 3 steps. If you learn the thank you message, then all the send invitations, you're validating it with the thank you message, and I'll tell you the reason why it's important to set up the thank you message. Anyway, and then in future, you'll definitely hear more of me about LinkedIn and Jomar, and then we can talk about the other key things with status updates, coffee meetings, or the one-on-one meetings, the physical meetings, or online meetings, and then the follow-ups. Okay. And I had a question on LinkedIn. I might as well share it now. This is going to be a little bit longer, Jomar. I hope this webinar tonight, because I just want to reveal as much as I can. So I had a question. Cool. And hopefully it's okay with everyone on the webinar. A little bit longer, but I had a question regarding the coffee meeting, and it was a good question, and so I'll share it. And the question was that what happens if you're getting clients as a VA, and you're getting clients from international, so you can't really set up a coffee meeting, a physical, set up a one-on-one meeting with them. So a coffee meeting doesn't just mean that; it could also mean that you're online, and then it could be a Skype meeting, or a Google Hangout meeting, or a webinar meeting, whatever you're using to talk to your potential clients. So that's how that could also be a coffee meeting. So it could be an online meeting, right? All I can say from experience, because it's especially with my target market, having a face-to-face meeting, I definitely convert a lot more. They can see me physically, they can even touch me physically, and the way I can basically use all my expression from physical to everything, and then I can get my message across a lot more. So that's why I use that. It's effective for me, especially like I said, especially my target market are at a high level where I'm charging premium rates. So that's that. But you know, I started. I'm still getting clients in Australia right now while I'm here in the Philippines, and the coffee meetings are all on Google Hangout. Right, the tool that you're using right now, that's what I'm using. Before I used to use Skype, and before that I was using GoToMeetings, which is, you know, GoToWebinar. So whatever you can use to connect with these guys. And the other thing that I've got Singaporean clients, we use Viber, Viber. I think Jomar's already mentioned that in the past to you guys. So I use that as well. I communicate with them all the time using that as well. So that's coffee meetings, right? So let's just make sure that everyone is aware of that, that it's not just a physical form, it could be online. Okay, so let's talk about this. That's it, Viber. Thank you, whoever that admin notice was, one of the girls. Let's talk about the 3 must-haves to thank you message. So, and then why do we do this? I'm going to tell you the why again for the thank you message. Okay, so why do we need to have a thank you message, and what's the importance of that when we can just connect with people on LinkedIn and then that's the end of it? All right, that's cool. You just, you know, connect, use your send invitation script that I shared with you, and then you add more to it, or make it like for you, and then that's cool. Just leave it at that. But let me tell you why that after you do the send invitation, and if they've connected, they become a first degree or first level connection to after being a second level. This is why, right? I call it the value of your network. So in this case, your network is your LinkedIn network, right? So same thing for your Facebook network or your Twitter network, but in this case, it's the value, how you value your LinkedIn network. Okay, so if you're connecting, if you've made the effort and you've done those steps and you've used the key, the 4 must-haves to send the invitation, and then the next thing you should do to strengthen that, to make you stand out, is there's a few key tips here. The first one is that when you do, when you do the thank you message, you're just being polite. That's the first thing, right? You're really being polite and you're being professional, especially on this platform, LinkedIn. Okay, so it's important that if you do that, this is why, that you're justifying that you're a pretty cool person, you're a very good person, you do the right things, you have some credibility, you have you can be trusted, and you're being polite, you're being professional. The other key point is that you remind the person that you're connected on LinkedIn, because there is so many things happening on LinkedIn, like in every other platform, that if you're just connecting, and if you could be connecting to 20 people, 15 people, 50 people, 100 people, and I know there's a lot of people out there that even do, more than 100, around 500 a day, right? And if you're just connecting, it's like people are going to forget who you are. So you've got to stand out. So by doing a thank you message after you've connected, then you're reminding them, hey, this is Jay, this is who I am, check out my profile. But you don't even need to say check out my profile. By sending a thank you, they will go to your profile for just being polite and being professional, and that's a good thing. And now again, it goes back to the value of your network. You're really valuing these people in your network, because they are potential customers, right? They may be just potential customers, they may be potential strategic partners, or they're just potential friends in the network. They could be they could have similar interests to you. You just don't know. Okay, so that's some 2 important things, because if you look at this last point down the bottom here, if you don't follow up, you might as well not get started in the process. All right? If you just connect, and then they are connected, that's cool, but it's pointless doing that. It's basically, here's an example. In the olden days, I call it the olden days, is that it's like you going physically in a networking environment. You go to a party, and you go to a business networking event, and all you're doing is collecting business cards, right? So you go out there, hello, my name's Jay, what do you do? Boom, boom, and then they say the same thing. All right, let's exchange business cards, and then that's it. And then you're doing that all night, and then you could be the best person, and you've collected 100 business cards, and then you go home, and then you stick all those business cards in your drawer, and then you totally forget about it. Right? Just think about that. You just leave it there. So it's pointless. It is pointless doing that exercise. You might have the effort to stay there for 3 hours, 4 hours at the at the networking event. All you do is collecting business cards for what? Right? For what? So that's what you're doing if you're not doing the thank you message, right? So and then you're never keeping in touch. So people are busy, especially today, and your messages needs to stand out in LinkedIn and literally everywhere. This theory or this strategy that I'm sharing with you, works in all the platforms. So if you are mentioning, you're a great reason why you're genuinely interested in connecting with the person, and being authentic about it. So you will stand out. Okay, so if you're doing the thank you message, you will stand out, and I'll put their period in square brackets because you will, right? So by doing just the simple step, and it takes a few seconds, literally. Once you've got the script, you cut and paste, and you send the thank you. That's it. That's done. You're going to stand out amongst the rest, and that could be within the 1%, 2% percentile, and the other people now, your potential connections, are going to start to remember you. And this is important, which is the point 3, is that it will increase your conversion rate when you set up your coffee meeting in the weeks to come, right? By just doing the thank you. It will set you up for the coffee meeting, because this guy said, hey, I remember Jay saying thank you. That was pretty nice of him. That was pretty polite of him. That was pretty professional of him. I may think about doing this coffee meeting. He's going to look at my profile, and if he's looking potentially for my services, or he just wants to meet and network with another entrepreneur, and he feels like Jay is pretty cool, he will do a coffee meeting with me, guaranteed. Okay, now do you guys understand that? I want to see a lot of yeses before I move on, because this is the reason behind it. It's like the game behind what I'm sharing with you guys. All right, so let me see the yeses slowly. Let me see it. Come on, type the yeses. Jomar, if they're saying yeses on your platform, okay, the admin notice, yes, cool. So they're all saying yes. Okay, good. So you're understanding the reason why you would have the thank you message. Good. Okay, so let's now talk about how do you set up the thank you message. So last week I shared about how to connect or send the invitation. So hopefully you know how to do that now. And then after you've sent these invitations, and there you go, I'm seeing the yeses also now. After you've sent the invitations, you're going to start to accumulate a few of those second degree connections into first degree or first level connections. Whoa, I'm seeing all the yeses. Okay, cool. I'm excited. So now, where do you find these, after converting them from second degree to first level? So this is the steps. I've done it on screenshots just for you to see. Okay, so okay. I want to validate the why you need to do this thank you message. This is a real person, and this is a very I can't mention his name because I haven't got his approval, but he's a very high person, let's just say that, and I've highlighted, this is his exact word for word message back to me after I sent the thank you message, and this is what's going to happen to each and one of you over time, right? When you're going to do it consistently, this is the things that you're going to get response back. Okay, I've underlined, he didn't underline some of these sections, I've underlined it just to highlight why you would do the thank you message. So I'm just going to read it. And this was just last month, so pretty accurate and pretty current. So it says, hi Jay, I usually don't respond to any of my messages I get on LinkedIn, and then I've highlighted the key point here, but felt it was important to get back to you, if only to say thank you for a direct and well written message. Okay, now I'm not going to mention how big this person is, but let's just look at the next paragraph. Although I am not currently in the need of your offering, I feel that we may someday have the opportunity to cross paths. If not for Digiprint, then maybe for LBC Express. Sincerely, Mr. D. Okay, let's just call him Mr. D. Okay, so like, you know, I've already researched the companies. They're pretty big, and I'm sure you guys know the companies. But this guy is, like I said, I can't sort of mention who he is because I haven't got approval, but I just wanted to share this. But let's just say this guy is very big, and I'm getting thank you messages. And you know, he's new. He didn't know who I am. He didn't know what I did. But because I did those fundamentals, I'm getting responses back like this. So if you guys do this right, then you're going to get things like this too, and it's pretty cool. And like I said, you know, in my first webinar, I'm affiliated or connected on LinkedIn with literally every known big brand out there. All right. So and this is just another proof that if you do this right, then you're going to get responses like this from, you know, big people. Okay. So let's talk about where to now find your new connections. So what you need to do when you're in your LinkedIn, you need to go to, once you logged in, you need to go to connections. All right, so I've got, you know, these slides are going to be for you guys anyway, and this webinar is going to be recorded. So I'm just going to go through the steps. So you need to click on connections in your main menu up the top in your account, and then you need to click on keep in touch. All right, you're going to click on keep in touch, and then there'll be another, once you go to the new page, there'll be another two pull down menus. So you need to select sort by new, and then you also need to select filter by connections only. So you need to have new, sort by new, and filter by connections only on this new page. And once you select that, you're going to go to a page like this. So basically this will show you all the recent new connections from second degree now to first degree, right? And it will show there first, and then in the circles here, it will show a blue icon, it is the LinkedIn icon. It has to be blue, which means that, you know, these are first new connections, first level connections. So this is how you find your new connections. Okay. So once you've done this, will list all the new connections. Okay. Now what you need to do now is set up your thank you message. So I'm going to do an example on the first one here, Mr. Angel here, and then what I do is I right-click Mr. Angel's name up the top there, and then when you right-click, you're going to have a window pop up like this, and then you're going to click on Open Link in a new tab. So you're going to keep this window in your browser, and then you're going to open the new link in a new tab and create a new tab. And what that will do, it will open the profile of Mr. Angel here, and then it will look like something like this. Jomar, are you understanding this? If you're understanding it, everyone's understanding it.
Yeah, we do that all the time.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, good. Okay, so now you're doing that. So what I do is, because I've got a call to action. Okay, I've got a call to action which I'll share with you, and my call to action is to increase my skills and experiences, so my endorsements, right? So what I do is I normally click, because normally a pull-up will, another window will appear down here, and then it will show skills and expertise of Mr. Angel. So I will just click endorse, right? So I'll just click that, and I will endorse, you know, 5 of his skills. And then I will send a message. So I'll click on send a message, and then the pop-up window will come up like this, and now this is where you do your thank you message, which I'll reveal the 3 must-haves. Okay, so if I just wanted to make that sure that from people that are beginners or people that already know, we're all in the same level. Okay, we're all on the same level now. Now we're on the thank you window, and now we talk about the thank you strategy. Okay, so let's go. Ah, man, I wish I could ask you guys who's awesome right now, and then you all say, I'm awesome. Okay, so people who's awesome. Now, the first...
Awesome.
Yeah, type I'm awesome. Okay. Okay. So the first must-have for thank you is the name. Okay, you want to have thanks and then the person's name. This goes in the subject line. I will reveal what it will look like shortly. Okay, so that's the first must-have. Address them again by their name. You're being polite, you're being professional, and that's just the proper thing to do. So thanks, the first person's name. And like what I did with the sent invitation, I just select, cut, and paste. Don't try to like type it yourself because you can create an error. Their first name will appear, as you can see here on the pop-up window. You can see to and then Mr. Angel. Just select the angel, their first name, and then at least that that's exactly their name, and you can't make a mistake. Okay, so I go thanks and then their name, and then the second must-have, thank you must-have, is thanks for connecting. So it's just a simple sentence, and this is just my script. You can make it better, you can improve on it, whatever, or you can make it fit your personality. But all I say is thanks for connecting, and then truly appreciate this, okay, and blah 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 if I wanted to add to it. But my basic script is just thanks for connecting. I'm just saying thank you, okay? So that's as simple as that. So you just need to thank them for connecting. And then this is important must-have. Okay, so the number 3, I'm going to be here for a while, is the call to action. Okay, so you've addressed them by their name. You're thanking them for connecting, and you can add an extra message there. And then what do you want them to do next? Or what would you basically, where would you want them to go, right? Or to take action next? And how can you sort of do that politely? Okay. So one sample call to action is getting them. Remember what I did at the start is I clicked and endorsed their skills. You guys remember that? Okay, good. I'm getting yeses. I'm imagining I'm getting yeses, but I know that will come later. Is that okay? That's the reason why I clicked on endorse, because now I'm asking for a, if I've done that, hopefully they're going to be okay to endorse me back. Okay, so and then this is my script. This is sample call to action 1. Is, by the way, I thought I would endorse your skills. I would be very grateful if you could endorse my main skills also, right? So that's my call to action, is that I want them to endorse my skills, right? So most people, seriously, like 90%, more than 90%, will endorse, 1 or 2 or all your skills. I've had people endorse all of my skills when I've only endorsed 5 of their skills, just as a thank you. And this, I'll tell you the reason why. So that's one call to action. Now, if you're like Jomar, who has webinars nearly every single day, okay, you could do a call to action and sample 2 that way. All right. If they've looked at your profile, they see that they may potentially like to know more of you or get to know you more. Then you could, if you're running webinars or if you're running physical presentations, presentations out there, you could invite them to do that. So you can say something like this as another call to action, is that I'm running a webinar on so-and-so date, right? If you're interested in this, feel free to come to check it out, because it may add value to what you do, or it may help you in your business, or it may help increase your whatever it is, okay? And then you say something like this. Again, you put this in your own words. Either way, awesome to meet you and connect with you on LinkedIn. Okay, so I'm not forcing them. I'm just telling them, hey, check it out. If you're interested, check it out. If not, it's cool. All right? So that's sample number 2. It's important that I used to just go, thanks for connecting, but I realized that I can get them to do an extra step. Basically, that I'm adding value to them, and then hopefully they can add value back to me to help increase my profile, or they can, I send them to webinars if I'm doing it. But initially, I would just increase my endorsements, and you guys can practice that straight away. But I suggest doing either sample 1 or 2. Don't do 2 of them at the same time because you may be asking too much, especially on your thank you message. Okay, that's something that you could send them later on. That could be another follow-up message. But either one you select, I mean, I suggest initially, just for practice purposes, do the endorsement because it's very simple. I mean, you're endorsing them. Hopefully they'll repay back that, and then they'll endorse you. Okay. So, and like I said, most people will endorse you back. Okay. So, any questions, Jomar? Was that okay?
Yeah, very
Yep,
clear.
good. Okay, good, good,
Very
good.
good.
So, okay, so have that call to action because they will do that extra step, and it will definitely increase your profile in a cool way. Especially if you guys, and a lot of you are VAs there, and you will really want to position your LinkedIn profile and your summary, and you want to strengthen it. You want to make it more credible. You know, your skills being endorsed is a big plus. Okay, it's a big credibility factor. Okay, so this is what the script would look like. So on your subject line, you would go thanks, and then in this case, in this example, Angel, thanks for connecting and truly appreciate this. And then boom, that's the thank you. And then the last step is my call to action. By the way, I thought I would also endorse your skills, which I did. You know, you did that on the first step before you started doing this. I would be very grateful if you could endorse my main skills also. Right? So you're not, you can, I mean, later on, once you want to pinpoint a specific skill, you can actually state the skill there, which what I'm doing right now. I'm pinpointing like, hey, you know, I would be very grateful if you could endorse some of my skills, in particularly this skill. Right? You can say something like that. But initially, just do this, and then best wishes and God bless, Jay. That's the script. And how would this look like on the actual LinkedIn page or on that pop-up window is exactly like this. So step 1 is, you know, you do the thanks and then their name, and remember, cut and paste the name. So you will never make that mistake unless if they've incorrectly written down their mistake, their first name on LinkedIn, but that's not your fault. And then there's the thanks for connecting and truly appreciate this. And by the way, I thought I would endorse your skills. I would be very grateful if you could endorse my main skills. Best wishes and God bless, Jay. And boom, send that message. Right? Send that thank you message. And that's it, guys. That's all you need to do. And then basically, there's a few things that will happen here. One is that you're going to stand out. Like you're being polite, those key factors, the key whys, right, of the thank you message. You're being polite, you're being professional. You're going to remind them of who you are, which means that you're going to stand out, and then you're going to set yourself up for the potential coffee meetings that you would do, or the one-on-one meetings, online or offline, right? And then the other thing too is, because I've got that call to action, is that you'll eventually, and if you do this every single time you have a new connection, that's why I get excited when I get a new connection, because this is another opportunity for me to increase my skills, right? To increase the, you'll see in a minute, the pluses. So if you do that final step with that call to action, this, okay, the action times is, you know, the name, thanks for connecting, your call to action, very important, and this is what's going to happen. Okay, this is my skills and endorsements profile. You can check it out on my LinkedIn profile. And then over time, your top skills are going to be all 99 plus. I've got the cool one there, the number one there, awesomeness. That is actual a skill. I'm trying to, you know, give that gift back to each one of you. And I've had
I want that.
Yeah, I can tell you guys, I've had so many entrepreneurs, especially in America, say, Jay, that is so cool. Like, these are business owners, and then I give them a smile on their day because they looked at my profile and they saw that skill, awesomeness, and then it just made their day happy, right? All right, so it's an actual skill. I created it. It was already there, but I found it, and so I'm using it too. And so it's 99 plus, but then as you can see there, you know, my target market is small business, entrepreneurship, online marketing, business strategies, you know, business growth strategies, brand development, business education, strategic partnerships, new business development, and then public speaking training, lifestyle coaching, and then social media, and then of course publishing and author, and then the last one there, real estate. They're really the things that I do, but my top skills is pinpointing towards potential consulting clients, right? So over time, when you're doing the thank you message and you're sticking that call to action in there, this is what's going to happen. Now imagine this, right? On your LinkedIn profile, the full profile, right? They're going to see your summary and it's like awesome. They're going to say, hey, that's something that I may want. And then they're going to go, I put this directly, because you can shift your positioning of, the layout of your profile. So after they do the summary, I've got a small call to action there, email me, and then I want to validate my skill sets again. So I stick this skills and endorsements directly under my summary, and then this will validate and build more credibility on what I do, because everything's 99 plus. Do you guys understand that? Yeah? Type in awesome. Okay, so just imagine that and how your profile would really, really stand out. I'm getting excited because I know the power of this. I mean, I know Jomar mentioned, my potential income, which he wasn't supposed to, but that's cool. I'm cool with that. But, it's because of what I've done on my profile. I just attract the right customers, and I'm charging them the most premium prices. I've been very quiet about it, until now that I'm starting to reveal my strategies on LinkedIn. But hey, I'm making my money and I'm getting the clients and I'm getting my positioning there. So after the skills and endorsements, then I would show all my experiences. All right? So that's the setup. So if you want to look at the structure of your full profile, right, just check out my LinkedIn profile and you'll see and how I've structured it. But it's been fine-tuned, it's been tested and measured, and it's awesome. Like, I'm not bragging about it, but it converts. Okay, it really does. So check it out, and then over time, that's why, remember I told you I get excited when I get a new connection, because this allows me to do that call to action, and it allows me to get them to, basically I endorse them, they endorse me back. And like I said, most people all over the world will endorse you, even here in the Philippines, because I'm connecting with a lot of entrepreneurs, business owners, presidents, CEOs here, and most of them will. They may not endorse you in 5 skills, but they'll endorse you in 1 or 2, and that's cool, because that will slowly increase your endorsements, and then it will get you to that 99 plus. Basically, what that 99 plus means is that it's basically what it says is that there's 99 people that has endorsed, for example, awesomeness as a skill for me. And it's actually more. Like, I think entrepreneurship, there's over 400 people, right? So you can start to understand how big my network is on LinkedIn, and it's pretty powerful. All right. So, and remember, it's pretty powerful, but remember each member, the potential household income for each member on LinkedIn. That makes it even more valuable, which is even more powerful than the household income in Facebook. Like I said, Facebook is a cool tool. I use it, but depending on your strategy, depending on your target market, LinkedIn is quite powerful. Okay, so that's why I'm suggesting for you guys to do sample 1 as your call to action, to initially increase your skills to get them to that 99 plus. Okay, and like I said, it will really build credibility around your summary once they see that, and then plus your experiences. Plus, you show evidence from photos to downloadables to videos, and then boom, this is now a LinkedIn profile that will really stand out and that will attract the clients that you want or the customers that you want. Okay, so that's that, guys, is the 3 must-haves to your LinkedIn thank you message for attracting endless new targeted customers. I think. Okay, so we'll talk about that next, but if there is any questions, this is the time to ask, and if there is questions, Jomar, feel free to just relay that to me, and I can answer. Or Jomar, if you've got any other questions that you think the guys in the group could be asking, then ask that now. So,
Okay, let me just check if there's anybody asking questions. I think they're all blown apart, blown away, whatever.
blown apart.
Because of your, because of your 99 and awesome skill. My goodness, I have better invent another skill like what? Webinar God or something. Something awesome. Awesome is something that you actually own now,
Yeah, yeah.
as far
See,
as
and I've proven it too now. It's on LinkedIn.
yeah. Yeah, you should probably explain that, because they don't understand what's the point of owning a word, for example, in LinkedIn. I mean, that's a really big deal.
Yeah,
You
it's
want
a
to
really
explain?
big deal.
You want to explain it, or let me explain it?
Yeah, I think you explain it. Maybe they'll understand you more. You
Not
explain it
really.
first.
I'll try it first. I'll try it first.
Yeah.
Right? If you own a word in LinkedIn, for example, even just in LinkedIn, and if they, okay, I can't explain it. Your turn. I can't.
Okay,
I'm sorry, you don't.
before that, there's a question that popped up from Jem. Jem, I hope I'm
Sure.
pronouncing your name. It says here, hi Jay. So you have to send the message first before you endorse, or it doesn't matter what you do first. Firstly, Jem, you endorse. Remember when you go, let me just flick. Hopefully this, you guys can see this. I'm flicking really fast. Remember, we go to the, okay, you're in the list of the new connections, and then you right click each new connection, and then you go to their profile. What you need to do first is you click the endorse. So you're endorsing them first, and it's cool. I mean, it's not costing you anything to endorse. You're just sort of giving them something, and then hopefully they'll give you back. And like I said, most of them will. So to answer your question, you would click endorse first before you send the thank you message. All right? So you click endorse, that would endorse their skills, and normally by default it will endorse 5 skills, and that's cool, right? Now don't over, if you, and I know some of you will go crazy with this and will be really, I've got to use the D word instead of the C word, will be really dedicated and will take action. Don't overuse that endorsement. There is a potential limit overall. I've hit that barrier and then I can't endorse anyone. So just do one click of the endorse, so you endorse 5 skills, because if you keep clicking that, if some person there has like 50 skills that they've put on their on their profile, you're going to endorse all that 50 skills, and it's a waste, because that person may or may not endorse all your skills back. So I normally just do 5, click it once, and then do the thank you message. Okay, so let's go back about owning also a word. Did that make sense to that answer, Joma, about the endorsement?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And Jem, okay, cool, got it, thanks. Okay, so owning a word, because it's basically a branding, and it shows you're earning the right. So it's you're being human. You're being, I call it humanizing. So if you're out there and you've got a profession, you've got a skill set, and you're trying to get people to know you more, for that to happen, a lot of people, like in, maybe a lot of you may think that Jay is so far advanced, right? And yeah, he's getting all these high-end clients, and there's no way I can connect with him because he's so big. It's like my mindset initially when I did the Millionaire and Billionaire book, and then Darren Stevens, who's my mentor and the co-author of that book, said, let's connect with Bill Gates. And then I'm thinking to myself subconsciously, like, how the heck, like, is Bill Gates going to listen to me, right? Like, who am I to him? Like, I'm just like an ant compared to a guy like that, right? Right? So it's something like that. So people's perception of you could be something like that. If you've got that profile. So in my case, to to break down that barrier. So because I'm a friendly person, like I like to connect. to break down that barrier, I had to use a word that would just give a smile to everyone, and that's been used before, right? And take ownership of that word to, so then people can just come to me if they decide to and not be afraid, right? And the word for me to make me more human or to humanize me was awesome, like awesome, right? And I use that in my events. I get people to say who's awesome, and then we do the wave. If you guys want to see the compilation of waves and our event, you know, the event that we did with Jomar is in that video. It's on my profile. Just look for the video. Okay, and that's why I started to say, hey, that could be my word. Okay, the other word for me is lifestyle. All right, but the thing that connected with me here and that was pretty cool with the community when I started doing it and just testing it was awesomeness or awesome. So then I started to see that, you know, when you write these skill sets on LinkedIn, you can write anything you want actually, and then hopefully people will endorse that. And so what I did, I started testing it, and people started clicking on it, and then okay, cool. And then I'm using that in the marketplace as my thing, and then now that breaks that barrier where like Jay is just a normal person, and you know he's an easygoing person, and he's awesome, right? And then basically, you know, I'm not afraid to connect with him, and then that became my thing. So it really is, you know, using, you know, you find your word, you find what that is, stick that on LinkedIn, and then that becomes you. People will now gravitate that word to you, and then they will remember you in that way, and in a very, you know, very humanizing way, meaning that, you know, they'll remember you as a person rather than this, you know, someone that they can't touch or someone that is just too beyond them and they're too afraid to talk to you. So then that allowed me to just be more fun, and then that allowed me to be myself. So then also with that word, it's not just for people to get to know me and to connect with me easier. It was also for me to be relaxed as a person and as being me. And that now distinguishes me in the marketplace, because there's a lot of people out there that are LinkedIn masters, or there's a lot of people out there that are Facebook, you know, gurus, whatever it is. And how do I stand out, or how does Jay McLean stand out from that, you know, amongst them? Well, this is the word, right? This is the word that, hey, you know, Jay's using, this is Jay, and you know, he's a pretty cool guy, he's a pretty awesome guy, and you know, you know, you can connect with him when you need to, or you can ask questions and all that stuff. So basically, that's my answer to that question. I think I overdid it, but hopefully that answered it. Okay, here's another question.
That's okay. Just to summarize, if you own the word, that's you, and that differentiates you from everyone else who is trying to, let's say, become popular in LinkedIn, for example, and they remember you because of that word. If they think of awesome, they think Jay McLean. If they encounter the word awesome out there, they will think Jay McLean, and that's owning a word. That's the same way that Colgate has owned that word. Yeah. Colgate. It's no longer toothpaste. It's not Colgate. So that's the shortcut to that. We have some cute questions related to our message.
Okay.
This is the same question. If I remember it right, this is from Cindy and Maria Elena. You mentioned to connect to second-degree connections. So which do we connect first, second-degree ones or the ones who has the first degree? Related to that would be, can I do the same thing, sending thank yous to previous connections? How do you propose to engage the first degrees? You know, okay, great questions.
Okay, there's a couple of questions. Well, in terms of the steps that we were doing in this series of webinars, what you would do is that you would be first connecting with your second degree and converting them into first degree. So that's, you send the invitation to your second degree people, and I've sort of shown you how to find them. And there's other ways to find them as well in the groups and stuff, but that's another time. So you would connect to your you would send the invitation or connect to your second degree, and as soon as they become first degree, then you would do the thank you message, right? So that's how you would do this process of what I've been teaching. You set up your summary, your profile, then you would connect with more people, and you would build your LinkedIn network. And then from those connections, they become first degree, and then boom, you send a thank you message. Now, the way you would do for your existing first degree people is instead of a thank you, you could be, well, you could say thank you, or you could just say hello, right? So it's just a hello message, how things are, and say so we're being connected for, they may not even know. Like you could just say that, hello Jomar, and then you say, it's I want to say I want to thank you for being connected for several months now on LinkedIn, and then now you would go to your call to action. And by the way, I endorse some of your skills. Yeah, it'd be cool if you could endorse some of my skills. That's how you would do to your existing first degree connections. It would just be, the script would be just slightly different. Hopefully that answered the question. Yeah.
I think it does.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Cool.
Okay. I think. Okay. Run out of questions. Anybody have any more questions? Now's the time before we get into that final treat. I'm gonna show you Jay's email of 2009.
Jomar, I've still got one more thing.
Okay. Good.
This is a thank you, and also my call to action. Okay, so guys, if it's okay, it's just going to take less than a minute. So I've just shared with you now for the last 3 weeks, and like it's always been an honor, and I'm truly grateful for it. But if you guys saw this as something really valuable, and of course just exactly listen to what I'm doing right now, because this is something that you could do when you're setting up, which is another process, is your recommendation. So if you saw this as valuable, and I would be very, very grateful if you could just send me a recommendation. And the way to do that, and some, a key tip of what you've learned from the last 3 weeks, okay? So if you would like to do that, and like I said, I'd be very grateful, is that you would just go to my profile, so find me, Jay McLean, and then you would click on, see the send message, there'll be a send message button, but don't click that, click on the pull down, the arrow, which would pull down this little pop-up window, or this another window, and click on recommend. And what you're doing is you're just going to send me a recommendation, which is like a testimonial, okay? So this is the words here. So like I said, I'd be very grateful, and that would also increase. So I'm telling you why I'm doing it, is that it would also increase the profile of my LinkedIn account. So that's what I'm saying. If what you've learned is valuable, and you've got something out of it, and it's helped you in your LinkedIn profile. So I'm just telling you how to do it, so then I won't get a bunch of messages on LinkedIn how to do it. So I'm doing it right now. Is that you would do it as a service provider. I know that you haven't hired me to do it, but it's the only one that you could select, because you're not really a colleague, and you're not a business partner, and you're not we weren't students together. So it's the closest one, and you would click on the service provider, and then you would click on go, and then after that you would go to this create your recommendation page, and it's very simple. It's like a little survey, that's all it is. And like I said, it's just a recommendation, or a little testimonial for basically for my LinkedIn page. So you would click on position you're recommending by, so you would click on the top. When you pull that down, there would be one called business marketing strategist or business growth strategist. That's the key position that I'm profiling myself. Then service category would be business consultant. So now you can see that I'm trying to increase my profile. Then your year first hired, well, of course you can only select 2014. And then top attributes. So you guys select what it is, and whatever you want there. Normally I think the closest one there is the expert, deep and detailed knowledge of the subject. Whatever it is, I don't really mind what it is, or 3. It says there, and then just your recommendation or your testimonial. So something something valuable that you got out of it from the 3 weeks. And if any of you guys have got results already, that would be awesome, because that would strengthen the recommendation. But that's what I would be very grateful if you guys, some of or all of you, would do that, and that would help my profile get even bigger. All right, and I think that's it. So thank you guys. And like I said, the 3 weeks has been really fun for me, or really awesome for me. And I know a lot of you are getting good value from it, because I'm getting the responses on LinkedIn. And feel free and don't be afraid to message me on LinkedIn. And the guys that's already messaged me, they can validate that I do respond pretty quickly, and I'm pretty much on LinkedIn all the time, as well as on Facebook. So they're the 2 platforms that I'm on, and I will respond. So thank you, everyone. Thanks to Jomar and the team. Now you can question me, Jomar, because I don't even know what you're going to do next. Jomar, are you there?
Okay, Jay, thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
Now let's go and show everyone the email that you sent me a long time ago. So
Yeah.
I showed everyone that email fragment, but everybody can now read the entire thing. So I'm gonna give you a few seconds to read it. But
I can't.
here it
I can't
is,
believe.
2000.
I can't even believe that you've still got it.
I never delete.
Yeah,
I think
2009. My goodness.
I count five years actually, but not really because it's November 2009, so this is around 4 years. And I want you to put your attention to the stuff that's bold and underlined because that's very important. So guys, I'm gonna leave you like 10 seconds to go browse it. I'm sure you're not gonna read it. You're just gonna browse it. So go. Let's let's frame this a little bit. Before this email, Jay was not known as Life Master Success Secrets. Look at his email address, PV Legacy. I do not know him at all. Okay, I do not know him at all. Before this email, 1 year before this email, actually no, several years before this email, that he started doing online marketing. 2 years before this email, I already started teaching online marketing. I started in 2005. Now, why did I pay attention to this email? First of all, it has my first name on it. And then notice the, the underlined boldface stuff. This is, my belief has been this. We can do what? Hey, Jay, can you read it? Can you read it?
Which one?
The underlined and boldface stuff.
What we can do. Okay, what we can do to add value to each other, so we can add value to family and friends. At the end of the day, we really only can take with us the person we have become.
Okay, see, look at that. So why would anybody type something like that? So can you tell us the secret? Why this email was made this way? Because it does make you assume that the person is a deep thinker. What is that? Awesome. What are those adjectives you can think of when you read this? So tell us the secret. Why were you able to craft an email like this as a first
Okay.
timer?
Okay. Uh, so the secret behind this, if there was a secret, is really why a lot of you are listening to Jomar, and listening, in fact, to Bo Sanchez and a lot of the key people here, is that you consider them as mentors, and I'm very grateful. So let me just go back a year of how this was crafted and how this came about. So is that okay to explain, Jomar?
Of
Just some
course.
history.
Of
Okay,
course.
good.
Yeah.
just getting permission, which is the polite thing to do. So a year before this, um, I was getting into my businesses. The businesses were doing well. However, the challenge I had, and also Emmeline, my wife well, she's my wife still. My wife, basically, the challenge that we had is that we were really, in our businesses. We were doing 80 plus hours a week, physical laborious work with all our businesses. Even all I mentioned here, which is the biggest positioning I had at that point in my life, was my property businesses. We basically were just we really had no life. Let's just look at that. We were just full time in our businesses, and we couldn't really do anything. I mean, we had about 24 staff in 4 businesses, and that's not even including the real estate business. And it was just a lot of hard work. I mean, we enjoyed it for all those years, but it was a time where I said, okay, I needed to be mentored. This is the key word: be mentored to, get me out of this life that I have right now, and hopefully ease the pain or create more time or freedom with the lifestyle that I have. Like, I still want to create businesses. I still want to earn the level of income I wanted, but I want to have more time to do the things that I really wanted to do sometimes, which is to go on holidays, for example. So I went and looked for mentors. I went to all the seminars out there, invested a lot, and listen to the key word. I didn't use paid. I used invested, and then I came across Darren. And Darren, I saw, was someone very credible, someone that had results, and someone that I looked up to because he had the lifestyle that I was looking for: the time, freedom, the income, the massive income, and then the network, the mastermind groups that he was connected with. And one thing led to another. I invested around 90,000 Australian dollars. And even Jomar, I mentioned this before, with his mentorship program, and then that's how the book Millionaires and Billionaires was created, and then that's how he really repositioned me in terms of my lifestyle, how I want to look at it, how I do businesses, how I systemize, who I network with, and how to position and do that. So how this was crafted was through that mentorship, right? And that was really the secret behind it. It's like I had a mentor that has done this before me and has got massive results. And then he again proved it with me to do the Millionaire Billionaire book. So let's take this even a bigger step, is that he now shifted my mindset and made me believe that I can speak to Oprah Winfrey, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, who else was there? Richard Branson. So you guys know these names. I'm assuming you know these names, and how to connect with these guys through email, and how to find them through email, because trying to connect them by phone calls is also a challenge, but can be done. But through email is doable as well. And plus, you can craft and design even if you're a newbie and still look like you're a professional, right? And this is how this came about. So through that experience with that book, then when we completed it, which was actually when was this? November. So that book was completed September, right? Around September, October. And then boom, we set up the new campaign for creating a Filipino entrepreneurial millionaires book. And that's how this was crafted. So from those teachings and from that experience, we're able to now craft, in this case, my positioning, because for that book we used Darren's positioning. So I don't know if you guys know Darren's positioning. He was a business partner to some key influencers in the marketplace. In particular, have you guys heard of a book, or Jomar, say yes or no, of a book called Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus by Dr. John Gray?
Yep, John.
Yep. So
You know
that was
what?
probably,
Funny thing.
yeah.
That was the topic of Bo Sanchez's entire talk the entire month.
Oh,
This
really?
month. That book,
Okay,
yeah.
awesome. There you go. See how things happen. And Cindy, it's Darren, not Daryl. Darren Stevens. Anyway,
Parents.
so yeah, so how that happened was Darren, basically they met at a convention. They were both speakers because Darren's also an international speaker, and he can talk about personal development to business strategies because his background is pretty much that all that stuff. And then they met, and then they strategically became business partners. And the challenge of Dr. John Gray at that time was that he did not know how to position the book. Right? He did not know how to position the book, and this, to cut a long story short, Darren said, "Yeah, I'll become a business partner, and let's turn this into a billion-dollar business." So now you guys know how big, Men Are From Mars, Women From Venus is the biggest selling relationship book of all time. Right? It literally is, and not only that, that's only the front end positioning of that book. They set up a franchise of a relationship mentoring coaching franchise around the US and literally around the world, and that became a billion-dollar business. Right? So and that was Darren's younger days before he sort of slowed down and then just started to stay in Australia. He used to travel a lot, and so he knew how to connect with people, connect from all walks of life. He's close friends with some of the most, he did NLP because he's an NLP practitioner, and I'm sure you guys know this name. His co-student or his classmate for NLP, and he was taught by one of the founders of NLP. His classmate was Tony Robbins. So he's a very close friend of Tony Robbins. I think, or Anthony Robbins. I'm sure everyone knows that, Jomar.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, and what other cool stuff has he done? And he's Dr. Wayne Dyer. He's every time Dr. Wayne Dyer, and I know, does everyone know or have an idea who Dr. Wayne Dyer is, Jomar?
Just probably me.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. So you can share that to them another time. Anyway, when he travels around the world, and in particular when he goes to Australia, Dr. Wayne Dyer goes to and stays at Darren's place. So he's very world-renowned with some of the biggest players out there from all industries and all walks of life. So he knows how to connect, and from his mentorship, he shared me the structure of setting up an email and how to connect. So basically what we did is, of course, in anything that you do, the thank you always comes up. So if you look at my webinars, you've noticed there's a thank you at the start and then there's a thank you at the end. That's all structured, but it's just being polite. It's being real, right? It's thank you for the opportunity, and that's what I'm doing here. So thank you so much for the emails. So I'm doing that and love the sharing. And then boom, I'm positioning myself. I'm validating who I am. And at this time, I've got the websites. I think these websites don't exist anymore. Except probably for the Twitter and that. I think they've renamed them. Anyway, so that was at that time was my real estate. So I'm basically crafting who Joe McLean is, and the way I do this, how this was crafted is that because, I was connecting with a lot of entrepreneurs here. So Jomar was the first connection. Then from Jomar it was Bo Sanchez. Then from Bo Sanchez it was Larry Gamboa. From Larry it was Anton Diaz. Then there was a whole bunch of other people, right? So basically, I position who I am, and I connected the link between because Jay McLean, if you look at that name and you don't know who I am and you haven't seen my face, you think that's really Aussie, right? So it's really Aussie. So I had to use that word Philo-born, and I tried to be awesome by just using Philo rather than Philippine-born, and then telling them who I am, and then I sort of shared my credibility, and then I went deeper because I know that the people I'm connecting with can understand, this deeper talks or this deeper sharing, and basically I went straight that way because I really wanted to stand out. I really wanted to connect with these people and get them to know me from a deeper level in terms of what my mission and what my vision is, and that's why I shared that, meaning my belief system. Right, and then of course I shared about the big dreams that I had that I've got here in the Philippines, and now when was this? 2009, and then basically by the end of 2012, that's when I came here. 2013, now 2014. And now I'm fulfilling the dreams that I sort of was sharing here, that I've got big dreams to fulfill in the Philippines. And more, and basically what that's about is just sharing these gifts that I've acquired over time. And then I put at the bottom part was just so hope you take this email seriously, because I really wanted to make sure that that's sort of like I'm pretty serious with what I'm doing here, and this is not just a spam email. And to heart, because as I said, you'll never know who you'll meet and what friendships can take place. And that's just a script that Darren used to use at the end. And then I added my thing, have an awesome day, because I started building that word. I don't know, someone used that word in Australia with our real estate business, and I kind of liked that word, and then it just stuck with me. And then of course, the God bless and regard stuff. So that's really how it was crafted. So it was really from a mentor that shared me his experiences, connecting with some well-known people. And then basically it crafted the style of this email from thank you, from positioning who I am, from creating sharing some of my results, and then some deep belief stuff, which really shows my profile, my deep beliefs or my core visions and my dreams. So
Okay.
there, Jomar, have you got any questions?
No, I have to stop you. Stop it telling too much. Because the reason why I have to stop you is because Stephens. Oh, I got it wrong. It's Darren Stephens. Now, before you say, Jomar, you're so bad. The real reason is because I want to announce that if they want to hear some more from Jay, I got a quick announcement. Okay, this is for everyone who wants to learn more when it comes to mentoring and mindset. Anybody here interested to learn from Jay McLean on mentoring and mindset? Can you say yes? Ako. Yes, ako. So I know it's you, right? So before we end tonight's LinkedIn lessons, we will be continuing this some other, soon, not next week, but before we do that, I would like to announce, if you want to learn more from Jay, to continue his story on how he changed his mindset. You know what I mean? And how he was able to utilize a mentor in the process. Then let me invite you to the bonus webinar that I'm holding for the Unlocking Success Secrets Marketing Mindset webinars. So it's going to be in August to 9 p.m. And I actually asked Jay to speak instead of me during that webinar. And if you don't know, this is a 3-webinar event. So this is supposed to be the second webinar, and it's supposed to be starring Jomar Hilario. But according to Jim Rohn, we need to have different kinds of influences and mentors. We need to have, he said, we need a variety of input and influence and voices. You cannot get all the answers to life and business from one person or from one source. This is from Jim Rohn. So Jim Rohn is our mentor, all of us. So I'm taking that seriously, and I'm giving you Jay McLean for the first time speaking solo inside the Marketing Mindset webinars. And then I'm going to do another webinar, the final one, on August 24. That's a Sunday, 9 p.m. also. And that's the one you're expecting me to be in. So the bonus webinar is going to be happening on, when is that? On Saturday. That's August 2. So if you hear how Jay McLean was able to utilize a change in mindset. You see, you can have a mentor, right? But you probably won't be able to utilize it if you don't listen to your mentor. You know that? Problem with mentors, you and your mentors. You say he's your mentor, but you don't listen to your mentor. That's because you need a change in mindset. So just that. I just want to invite you to, the link is below. Sorry, nawala yung link. The link is below. Attend, do join us in the Marketing Mindset webinars. Oops, nawala na naman. It's called jhilario.com/getmindsetwebinars. Nawala. And that's the link to go. So you can hear Jay talk for about an hour or so, ask him questions on how he was able to attain his marketing mindset webinar, marketing mindset from his perspective. Okay, remember,
Hmm.
Jay did not start as an online marketer. He started as a traditional business person. Okay, you might assume he has got the marketing mindset. That's different. An entrepreneurial mindset is not the same as a marketing mindset. There are entrepreneurs out there who's not really good at marketing. They're just rich or lucky, or they have good influences, good contacts. But an entrepreneur like me, small entrepreneur with a marketing mindset, that's what you need. Okay, so that's the invitation. Consider joining. Actually, force yourself to join. It's still at 1,000 pesos off. After August 2, I'm gonna increase it again. Okay. So this is your chance to unlock the secret for your success. Get that marketing mindset from Jay McLean. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for joining up. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you
We
too.
are so indebted to you for sharing us unselfishly all these things that you've discovered for the past 2 years. We've had Jay here 2 years ago, I think, and he's back. And do wait for it. We're going to announce. I think you'd be interested. How did Jay start? Right? His story. We're gonna announce a webinar featuring the Jay's story, his success story. So please do watch out for that. Okay? So thank you so much. We're gonna leave the webinar on for questions. Nikki will take care of you, but Jay and I will have to go to our families. Okay? Thank you so much,
Okay.
Jay. Thank you everyone for sticking with us.
Thanks, Jomar.
Replays
Thanks,
are found.
everyone.
Thank you so much. So we're gonna leave the webinar on. Nikki will answer you. Bye.